Hi, my name is Melissa Frazier. I go to Grand Canyon University. I'm currently taking Education 525 Foundations of Elementary Education Graduate Studies with Mr. Hintz. Today I will be answering 4 questions about professional teaching dispositions. The first one is, what professional teaching dispositions do I have and how will they help me be successful? The first disposition I possess is the belief that all students can learn. Every student has potential to achieve academically in the classroom. Students have different abilities, and a teacher needs to set realistic expectations for their success. A teacher needs to understand what their students' individual strengths and weaknesses are, what they like and what they're good at, to help customize instruction for the students. A second disposition that I believe I possess is embracing and promoting diversity in the classroom. I show appreciation and interest in all people, cultures, and I see diversity in all things. I think it's important to encourage discussion and get different points of view from different people. I think that your classroom itself can be set up to promote diversity. I think a teacher needs to understand the backgrounds and cultures of their students. And I also believe that students should have pride in where they come from and that they should not only be confident but respectful and tolerant of others in their class. The last disposition I have is friendliness. When I go to a school to substitute teach, I have a great attitude. I encourage my students, I use positive words. I think that when you do this, a student feels safe, a student feels comfortable, and they're more likely to engage in the learning process and be active in the classroom. The second question is, what professional teaching disposition do I think I need to work on? The one I chose is understanding the effect of community involvement and servant leadership as it applies to the welfare of students. I think that this will come when a new teacher becomes more seasoned, when they get to know their students and understand what the issues are that impact their student success. I think you need to advocate for positive change for your students, and you also need to use compassion. Question number 3. How do dispositions demonstrate your ability to understand other cultures, genders, and learning differences to build stronger relationships with students and families? How do potential bias affect teaching? I think that all the dispositions really emphasize being professional and respectful as you engage with students, with their families, and with other colleagues and teachers. I think you need to have cultural awareness. You need to know your students' families and their backgrounds. And I think you also have to understand and be aware that um, as a teacher, you have your own cultural lens that you see the world through. And acknowledge that your students also have the same thing and they see things differently from you. I believe that bias hurts the classroom. I think you should not use stereotypes. And when you hear stereotypes or biased statements, as a teacher, you should rephrase whatever is said in an unbiased way. I think as a teacher, you should have zero tolerance for inappropriate behavior. Question 4, the last one, how to use feedback from professional evaluations, observations, and data on student performance to adjust dispositions and benefit learning. I think that as teachers, you have to have a growth mindset both for yourself as well as for your students. I think you should believe in using assessment continually. It's a great tool. And as you use it, you can make adjustments in how you teach. You can change an approach to how you teach a class just by using observations of the class. I think you can adjust your dispositions when you get a professional evaluation of how you're doing and see where you might need to include or work on a different disposition. And I also think that something that helps teachers is observing teachers around you that abide by the professional teaching dispositions because those are the teachers that elevate the profession and ensure academic success for their students. Thank you.